Well, you know, this one is brought to me by this piece right here. This is called Trident right here. You know, so this is what's called fossil coral right here, fossil brain. You know, this is over like 25, 30 million years old before we was here. You know, the story of fossil coral is deep, you know, because it actually is, let me see if I could flip the camera around so my eyes would be in sequence with y'all. I think that's better. One, I don't have the earpiece, so I hope y'all can hear me clear. Somebody let me know. Peace and love, John Benjamin. Well, these is like the fossil coral brain. You know, I cut them and polished them. I said, hey, Sybil, what's going on? It's nice to see you. You know, thank you for tuning in. Good, good, great. I'm glad that I'm clear. Thank you, John, for working with me on that. So these was actually amulets that our ancestors was using way before, you know, even Egyptian time. We're talking Babylonian, because these actually is like living microbe cells that is still alive as they are today, vibrating at vibratory frequencies that they used to just build up around coral. And after being around coral for over millions of years, they formed these beautiful patterns that's inside of the coral, what we call calcite or citrine. You got different form of it, even quartz. But this is what is in this raw form, and the oldest of it. It's the most expensivest too. If you was to just Google or look up fossil brain, you see how expensive it is as a table piece or anything like that. But its history now, like I was saying, is what we're more concerned with is metaphysical abilities. What could it do? And with it, it brings peace and tranquility into your life. It get rid of bad-minded people or bad-minded energy. It resonates a certain frequency that actually it blocks out low vibratory frequency, or what we call far waves. You know, you got far waves, medium waves, and all these different things that, you know, science know about. So these right here, they cut out all the far waves so that, you know, we only get mid waves or whatever and higher waves. So anyways, with these now, the Phoenicians had introduced it to the Europeans, and they used to bring these back in the medieval days as amulets. This is what you would see. They'll put in like a bronze or copper cartouche or something and wear it on their neck or as a brooch, because actually that's what they're more of. They're more of protection pieces. If you Google it and check out the metaphysics, you see that's what they did. They protect people. All right, so well, that's what this is brought to you by, and now you're a little bit closer to knowing what fossil coral is, fossil brain coral is. That's what's important. You can look into these and chains and everything by just linking me through Facebook, or, you know, hit me up. All right, now I think I was giving out the wrong number on my WhatsApp thing, which is really 294. I just looked up the Has Hamsa. Okay, Sybil, that's what's up, man. It's really 876-294-9734. That's it. 9734 was the problem I think I was having before. All right, let's get into this now. Just turning pain into pleasure. And it's very important for us to know what it is, you know, and how to deal with it, because we're going through it right now. You know, it's like right now, not just Enki. Everybody's going through tower moments like we've been talking about. These is transformation with actual drastic changes taking occurring in our life. Something instantly got us in a situation that's more uncomfortable. Sometimes not even how we would want. It's like you compromising yourself. Not just compromising yourself. Some of us don't have a shelter place, can't provide food for ourselves. We're going through it right now. This is not something that is unique to an individual. It's coincidental, meaning everybody's going through it that is of the God family, the children of God, like how I tell you it is. Because right now, this is our transformation, because we've been living in a world of beliefs. We've been living in a world of our own desires and illusions that we have created for ourselves. And there's a certain mathematical formula that if it don't add up, eventually it's going to fall. This is where you have the tower moments when we don't realize. You take the basic concept of it. You make $150 a week, peace and love, but your bills amount to $800 a month. Eventually you will see you have to do strange things to make ends meet, just to come out ahead or even. And so a lot of us live under these situations where our mathematical equation don't balance our bills, our way of living, our lifestyle. And so we get caught up with all these. And so when these tower moments happen, it's the spiritual world trying to show you how to reorganize, because you thought you was doing it yourself, but all along they was preparing you for something even greater, or preparing you for something that you don't know is inside of you. So when they pull you out or the rug from underneath your feet, what happens now? Alchemical process start going through your body. You start feeling insignificant. You start feeling this is not how you could do it, or things ain't working out for me. I can't get no job or no relationship. Everybody's coming down on me. I just feel like, this is a part of alchemy right here. That's the process you want. The spirituality is coming in you now, because with this, like I said, this turning pain into pleasure is actually you developing yourself. For us to understand the theory in full, it's like when you was a child and you was just not acting up in class, and they call you to come to they call your parent to come to school. Your parent was standing with the belt, and you be the most attentivest person, or at home doing the homework, you watching TV, you're not focused. They take that belt and loosen up that first strap, you all of a sudden paying attention. It's always been that word. Tension is on it. We sometimes need tension and pressure to make us get up off our ass and stop living in our comfort zone and evolve to who we're supposed to be. So it's just like the movie Dragon Ball Z, where you get to see Goku's son get taken by Piccolo to another planet, just dropped there with no food, no nothing, no shelter, and he have to find a way. But he developed his ape abilities. That's when he had grown the tail and he became a strong gorilla. This is your time when I say you turn that pain into pleasure now, because that's what it's trying to pull out of you. Our journey is different from the sons of man, where everything is going to be laid out for them, and in it, they're not awake to what's going on fully. It would be like if you was coming from an adopted family and you never had a mother or father, you was under the government and they put you in a foster home, but everybody else in the foster home has their parents there, and so they accept you. Yo, you part of the family. That's my father is your father and mother too. But no matter how much you accept it, there's still an insignificance deep inside of you of not having your own mother, your own father. And so that's the feeling that's inside of us that we harbor, that we hold, that we wind up using to make these transformations take place inside of us, because we want our own. You get what I'm saying? So now, with everything being pulled away from you, it's up to you now to take everything and transform it into your own. And only way you could do that is by pulling the rug out, by taking away what you thought you had, everything that you thought you was. And now you have to, you could say, subject yourself to things you wouldn't subject yourself before. And alchemy happens. This is transformation. You're like, oh, I didn't understand this before, but now I'm going through it. I get a greater understanding. The basics of alchemy. Let me give you an example. If you was to be an alchemist from the medieval time, you couldn't have money. Not from Beacon to the greatest of them took finances for what they did. They kept just the bare minimum of everything. If they had something, they donated it or gave it away. So all these institutes, museums, and organizations come from these great people donating their stuff, because they felt that they not if they had these things, it would change them spiritually and make them egotistical and want to be like everybody else. So they did not really cherished money, kept money. They always stood like in a broke situation, and other people took care of everything for them. So now a lot of us is going through that as part of our covenant as an angelic being that is awakening up to our covenant by them snatching everything out, having the tower moment. You start waking up that other part of you that's going to go dig deeper to create your own self job, your own self profession, because all of us have it inside of us. So for angelic being, or who we call the children of the gods, it's not in nobody's favor to go and walk the footsteps of somebody else. The gods and spirituality, the universe is aligning everything. So you have an individual gift inside of you, and you must develop it. And only way you're going to develop it is by taking everything away from you and putting pressure on you, like your parents with the belt over you, and you have to know your ABCs. So those pressures now, we can't do that with the belt and all that. So you see yourself in some of the most compromising positions in life right now, and you will have to still find peace within yourself. You still will have to say everything is going to be good and make it good. If you think it's going to be worse, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So this is where you have to dig deep, take your shirt off, loosen up your bra strap, and say, nah, this is not what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And, look at it like this. If I'm Enki coming here and taking up two rocks and rubbing it together to make crystals, to make taking sand and making glass, to taking the trees and making herbs. It's like there's something here for you, and you have to learn to look beyond what everybody else is doing to see what's here for you. That's the only way you're going to see what they're trying to show you. It's not that they're going through this because you're fucked up or because of this. No, it's the spirit world putting you this to show you something. Wake up, look. This is what you have to do for you to be successful in this world, for you to leave a mark. You have to be your own creator. Like everybody know, nobody know what any of the gods did to be gods. Nobody don't know what they did in Egypt to be those great people. So that's how it works. It says for you to do everything in secret, but there's something secret hidden inside of you. You have to develop. That's why you take the inner journey of nothingness, and you see a lot of great historians, Paracelsus, all these great people went all over the different continent with nothing, spending time with different tribes, different cultures, and learning them so that they could get their spirits. You got spirits in all culture. You remember, you divided and split up all over. So by you spending time in different places with other people and different households and all this other stuff, you acquire different parts of yourself that make you now the alchemist. And this is why a lot of us is going through tower moments. So you can't look at that as, oh, I'm fucked up, or this is I got to do better. That's you comparing yourself to somebody else. That's not going to work. For you to see what's going on, you have to understand you're going through this alone. And what are they trying to tell you? What are they trying to bring out of you? That's what you have to see. Because at the end of the day, if you got food, shelter right then and there, everything else is a role playing. It's something going on to teach you something from, and you just got to pay attention. Be at the moment. That's the only thing you could do is be in the moment. Don't dwell on your emotions. Don't dwell on your feelings. Don't dwell on your situation, and you will see that was what was the problem. Yes, Yosha, what's going on? It's good to see you. So these is important to know because right now we are all in the same situation that we thinking there's some type of big money to get us, some success story or some comfort zone to live in. No, you're gonna come across different people that you already have something to do with, and you must heal them. You must tell them some type of truth. And once you keep passing them, you pass, you keep passing, you move up. As you move up, you're going to develop your own skills or profession or whatever the case may be. But you got to be able to have your eyes open and stop looking for what other people is doing, what other people have, or where you see yourself or where you're supposed to be. These expectations is getting you sick, and that makes your mind can't see. It also put demons in your head to make you talk and you start believing this and that. Stay in the moment. You understand? See, what are they trying to tell me? What is this trying to say? And if you're seeking money, you're not from the children of God. That's something you get from giving. Anybody could get some money. Give. That's how the universe works. It's expand and exhale. So you got a better chance if you financially in a bad position. Give something. If you sacrifice something that you love and give it away, and you will see money will come in your life. But I mean, that's not what it's about. This is about your freedom. Are you free? Are you free within your own self and your mind? Are you free from your psychological effects? Once you're free, you're able to do anything you want. A lot of us ain't free. We say we free. And I'd be like, come on, let's go to the beach. No, I gotta do this, yo. I gotta this. You're not free. You gotta be able to free up yourself. Once you free up yourself, then everything is available to you. Until you free up yourself, you're caught in a sphere of whatever you're going through, a gatekeeper. And that gatekeeper is gonna hold you, which is your adulter broth or demiurge, the shit you create for yourself, the thing you believe. until you start learning not to believe these things. And this is what we call now, in modern term, very simple, epigenetics. Upper above the genetics. Genetics is your heredity, what you're gonna genetically do from your ancestor, from your parents. You inherit their stuff. But then when you go epigenics, you go up above it. This is the wave now. And so those operate by your thoughts. It's what you think control your genetics. It turns your codons off and on by your belief systems. Look it up if you don't believe me. You can study this great guy. I think his name is Dr. Bruce Lipton to get more information on it if you want to learn what epigenetics is. But this is where you're headed. They know this now. This is more saying you're spiritual, more technical than a computer. And you operate under these terms. And once you understand the terms you operate on, you yourself is going to be able to accomplish any fortune, anything you want, any relationship. But it's going to take for you not wanting these things. Just focus on you and the journey that you're going on to greatness. You understand what I'm saying? So that would be the whole cause of what you have to, why I said to say, don't worry about anything. Turn your thing into pleasure. Learn from it. This is where you acquire your skills. Enki learned how to make crystals when he was broke and didn't have nothing, and said, yo, let me rub two stones together, walking on the beach with my head. Ancestors lead you to these things. You have it in you. You understand? That's nothing exclusive to nobody in this world. We're all just caught up in our desires, and we're not seeing what the universe is trying to show us. And they punish us, they punish us, they punish us because we can't see. Once you can see what they're doing, the punishment is over. It was a blessing. So turn that pain into pleasure. It's the same thing. Somebody mess you over, and then one day you start doing better. Turn that pain into pleasure. Anybody come and try to tell you how you live, how you look, turn that pain into pleasure. Laugh it off. This is a matrix. It's nothing serious about it. It's nothing real. And a lot of us is taking it too serious that we can't see what's right in front of us, the exits, the gatekeepers, what we say, our demeanors. These all count so that we block ourselves. So I hope you get to understand these little parts of just what you mean by turning pleasure into pain, because Egyptian style, you see them, like I always tell you, holding two medicine balls on their knees with their toes bent all the way back. This is how we live. Look at all the Sakmet poses. They're very compromising poses. You have to give pain a sacrifice. Look at it like this: God sacrificed himself to make this world. He sacrificed his son so we could have this. Everything you will see is a sacrifice. And so if you're not willing to give up something you love to accomplish something, you're not playing fair with nature. Nature gonna fuck you over. You understand what I'm saying? That's the truth of reality. And there's nobody individualized, and you can't one yourself or just about you. Your individualization is inner, but what's in front of you is what you have to deal with. They put that in front of you because it's still a part of your ascension, your learning. And so you can't look at it like, I don't want to deal with this, or I want to deal with this. I love this and I don't like this. Everything is the same. You understand? You got to look at it. What is ancestors trying to teach me? Take out your emotion. Emotions is from our old reptilian self. It's the lower reptilian brain. We passed the reptilian brain from back in Egyptian days when we was in what's called the third epoch of ourself. Our reptilian brain was more when we was in Lemuria and in Atlantis. This is when we was only in the reptilian part, but since then we went from the prima facie to the neo part of the brain, where you hear Neoplatonism, Neolithic period. The Neolithic period is African period before writing history. Africans been doing it too. They wasn't writing. That's all Europeans wrote. So when writing came in and printing machines, we got records of that. But history was still going on, and the Neolithic period is more of when the African story. We talking um, Homer, the Odyssey, the Iliad, those characters that became our modern day Greek gods and everything was once African stories of Jupiter and all these kids and everything. But we just had a slick way of saying things. One, two, we never disclosed it. We never took an image of it because we know image is magic, reflection is magic, everything is magic, but was taken out of society. But now, back then, they had a separate way of doing everything. They didn't do it like how we do it. So now, these epochs that we're talking about renders us to look into them, learn them, because you're going to learn the same thing in every epoch, but at least you know one time we was all in fire. That's the golden age. Everything was right. You talking Zeus and all that. That's true. The earth, the moon, and sun was all together. People still conscious of it, clairvoyant people could tap into it through the Akashic records, and they wrote this data. That's what a high priest is, or a scribe, such as Daniel, Ezekiel, and there's millions of them that we don't know about, including you if you tap in. So now after that, you get the second epoch where the moon separates from the earth. Or I mean, the sun separates from the earth, where it's just a moon there. And so when the earth and the moon is one, this is when we have this alien. You got the Lovecraft series, you got demon. This is what's called the primordial period. Look up the primordial period, and you see there was a time when demons inhabit the earth. This is what's called air. Air was here. Typhon is the word air. When you're talking Typhon, the dragon, you're saying air. But what is air? We never studied air to see, this mist is what you see flying around. And you will realize it's an invisible dragon or a light dragon like predator that we live in. You understand? Which is in Revelation, it comes back and everything. It's a long understanding, but for you to understand yourself, you're a dragon too. So the story Enlil, Enki, the Sumerian, you see all the winged beings, the seraphims, these give you a story of they've been knowing this. I'm not telling you something that is a lie or not. It aligns with everything you see in ancient history, and it's still the same now because it's a record. And we have to know these things as we're going to see ourselves as psychologically crazy, mentally crazy, keep making the pharmaceutical company mad money, and never heal ourselves, never uplift our peoples, never get ourselves in a better position more than to be superstitious and scared. Oh, and that's how we've been living. We're afraid of nothing. So on that note, now when you get the sun that separates and we get the demons and whatever from when the moon is there, this is when the Egyptians start recording it. When the moon separate was the last one, called the Trinity. That's why it's three: the sun, the moon, and the star. And so this is when human beings started evolving, or Homo sapiens came into the picture. And this is our evolution that we're talking about, our process of going back to being angelic beings. So we was always was and we always gonna be. The only thing, don't think you're the body. Don't get attached to this world because you're just taking a journey. Your spirit, you can inhabit anything. Later on, you'll learn that you could push your consciousness into everything because at the end of the day, what gives life is consciousness. If something ain't conscious, it could be a zombie, a dead body, a ghost. But if the consciousness in it, it's just a sheath body. And you must know what a sheath body is because some of us play with it like it's our dead ancestors, but it's just a sheath body. So once you realize about what consciousness is and if a thing is conscious or not conscious, you will be able to maneuver better and read spirit world and understand what metaphysics is really about. True metaphysics, from a person who go and see it. It's a difference. And a lot of y'all is going to activate the season. For the Aquarian age, it's a different season. That's why Stan Lee made the movie just like how he did. He showed you, he ushered in the time for Wakandas, the Black Panther people, these mystical mystics that don't use gadgets or geared stuff to throw at stuff like how the Avengers and all that. He ushered in the period of who we are, or spirituality. The same thing with the Avenger movies, how he did them is to show there's something greater coming, and the key is evolve, not about good and bad. That was dude's job to show people to evolve. And so you got to understand that's who you are. He ushered in something and left it. He didn't change it. Whoever came and twisted it around after that is not following Stanley's true story because he never was going to put no more parts to it. That's where we at right now. He's a metaphysicist that sees into those worlds and is deal with those worlds. Same thing like Walt Disney. That's how cartoons are. The cartoons is the clouds. And if you study them, they come alive and they do things. But we don't know these things. We lost. We think Egyptians, when they show you them symbols coming down, we think that's words. No, those are cloud images that talk to your subconscious. You look at an image and it will talk to you. It's talking to use what they call Solomon's seal in the canister. You got 72 demions, or demions is actually the sons of angels. Remember, angels made demons or demions. Now you got to realize demions is the real name of it, Daemons. When you talking demons, you're talking 14th century when religion came and reversed what called Agos Damien. Agos Damien is Thoth. If you want to know, that's who the original one was. But now it's a sheep. It's a world. Like Adam is a sheep. It's a sphere, just like air. You understand? It's like when you're in space, you're in black space. But when you're coming towards the Earth, don't you see a glow, different glows? You got atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, ionosphere. These is dumb. What do you think they are? That's dumb. They're just spheres. We're all spheres. We're a circle. When you come, you see orbs flowing around. So they're giant spheres that has density to them, but their consciousness in it. So you understand who they are. Yes, brother. And so now, with that in mind, you understand that these spheres have a great influence on us, and that's what we have to overcome, these influences of these spheres. All right, hold on. Yes. Now, where was I? Okay. Now, once we get the idea and we understand that these spheres, what should I do when my wife won't stop giving me a hard time? I feel like it's taking a hard time out of me. Hey, you know what, 33 brought? I don't want to cut the subject for a quick second. I got you. You said, hope, please. I got you right now, 33. Listen, this is what's going on. When your wife is giving you a hard time and you feeling a certain way, you got to first come to consciousness of that and what you are, and that's the most important part. But now, for you to quickly relieve it, it's like you have to stay in a meditative state first of all. Let me give you a quick relief, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so let's do the quick relief. The quick relief would be to breathe in. Is it breathe? No. Push out all the air out of you. Breathe out your nose, all the air out of you. When you push out all the air out of you, then pull in, like if you're gonna suck in air, but hold your breath and feel your abs pull in. Let your insides pull in. Let it suck in, and don't let it actually be you breathing in air suck in for a minute. When you do that, you equalize the energies that's coming on you. You start. This is what's called reverse breathing right there, and you balance out that feeling that's overwhelming you first of all, so you could think. It also take your mind from the lower self, which will put you in a reptilian brain to fight or flight with her, back up into your neocortex. Actually, you're going to put yourself in a state of where the body is conscious of the slow air or low air it has in itself, and it's going to be worried more like, what's going on here? And it's not going to allow you to let your adrenaline go off, because you're going to impulsively act off of her, and that's when the adrenaline feed, and you're going to become weak, and we get into that in a minute. But once you do that, your body is more worried about your body than what is people talking about, and it's not going to hit reptilian flight or fight mode, and that'll solve that part real quick. Now we're going to talk about why this happens. Okay. Now, I don't know the situations, but I'm gonna give you the basics of it now. You see, you got to give each other space. Simple as that. When you get in a hard time with somebody, it's the individuality of the person that is giving you a hard time. The reason they're speaking on it or making a fight is not the true reason. You got to look at the nature of the problem more than you would look at, hey, you picked the pot up and you dropped it and I'm mad at you for that. No, it's the nature of the person that for feeling these ways towards you regardless, because we're both adults, and two adults could communicate without agitation, without one feeling angry, without one stealing one energy. When it gets to these level, This is a sense of a war for individuality now. Somebody's imposing themselves too much on the other person. One person bent themselves too much to the right, and this person now is taking over them. They're not balanced. It's like the center of your nose, and you're getting too much of this side of your face coming over to this side, and you have to push this side back. So once you lose that, you can't really get it back without contention or going through some hardship with the person. But this is a sign for y'all to like give each other a fallback. The greatest thing you could do is give her space and you your space, and you will see if the person really, really care about you. They're gonna miss you because they want you back. That's more important than whatever y'all is dilly dally talking about. And like I said, it's more of the nature of the argument, not what y'all arguing about. Never look at what y'all arguing about. Look beyond the argument because it stems from something deeper. A person always don't flip out for the first time. More than likely, they're gonna be giving you a warning, talk to you. But if it's continuous, or a person is tired of you, or you don't see that this relationship is on the verge of falling apart, or y'all too much alike, y'all gonna fight all the time. So I say, give it space. Be the man you are. Remember, there's a lion and a lioness. That's the perfect animal attraction of all human beings, called mesmerism. Study Antoine Mesmer. He'll teach you animal attraction through magnetism. And the lion is the perfect example to show you, even though he's the king of the jungle and just sit there, the lioness run around, do the hunting, kids do that. It's just the natural flow of nature. So maybe you're not aligned with being a lion. It's an alpha male, and you bring this onto yourself. You understand? You transformed yourself into her friend. One of her. She could do that with you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where you cross a line where you can't really fix now. Sometimes you have to go start a new relationship and stay a man, hold your ground. You understand what I'm saying? That's what attract a woman. You understand? But when you actually start bending yourself too much, or not saying you're gonna not do what a woman say, but you don't turn yourself into her. This is what we call empathic blending. When you be around a person too long, you start turning into them. You might not catch it, but that's what's going on. And when you two start being the same, like I told you, two people can't be in the same place. They cancel each other out. So y'all starting to cancel each other out because one is fighting for their own individuality. So they shout out unconsciously and don't know why. So I want you to understand these things, and you will get a better, way to approach dealing with your relationship than your basic arguing, going to go see a counselor or whatever. Just give yourself some space and time, man. If it was meant to be, it will be. And you don't need to tell her no more than that. It's no more but this and just chill out. Do you love her? Do you want to be with her? That's all that's important. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. All right. He knew he was headed out. Okay. 33rd band, what's the problem? Too much stress, I'm not good enough. I can't see tiny spheres over everything. All right, there's too much stress. You're not good enough. You see 33rd band. That's illegal in my group. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, we got to get something straight. What you just said, you're not good enough, is a disrespect to your soul, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's your insignificance now, your lack of self-worth for yourself. For you to let somebody tell you you're not good enough. What do you mean? For what? Good enough for who? What are you talking about now? You allow yourself to be judged by somebody? Are you like some type of America's top model and you all up on the stage and you're being judged for your showmanship, your performance, your morality? What are you in? I thought you was in a love relationship. Unconditional love? You're not good enough. Listen, my friend, when you put in a situation like that, you overdid it. You put yourself, you're a pleaser. You trying to please people. It's not good. It's a sad thing, but it's an ego problem that you have within yourself, and it's called the pleaser ego. And I'm pretty sure it stems from not just with her. You probably got an issue where you always try to be better and do everything to this greatness, do everything to people's expectation and beyond. And that's what's going to kill you. You put stress on yourself for doing that, one. Then two, this is your gatekeeper that's holding you down. You're stuck in this fear, and until you release yourself from that ego, you got energy blockage. You're in blockage. And so she's just a gatekeeper to try to wake you up. And until you step up and walk away from that and stop pleasing people and say, fuck this, that's your job. Some people's job is to say, no, I love you, and could always be yes, yes. Yours is the opposite, as I can see, because you said you're not good enough. And so you're actually going to attempt or compete to prove that you're good enough by what's the standard you're going by? Is there a book on good enough? What is good enough? What do you mean? How do you be good enough? Explain it to me. Oh, the, the, the husband situation, the Brady Bunch thing. There is no such thing as good enough, my friend. You be yourself. Somebody love you for who you are, not because you not good enough to be like their ex, not good enough to be like how they vision you in their head, not good enough to what? What do you mean? You shouldn't let nobody talk to you like that, man. Nobody. You're a God man. God come first. God wouldn't judge you and tell you that. God would never tell you you're not good enough. And if God can't tell you that, no human being could tell you that either. Don't you dare let nobody talk to you like that again. You walk away from them. That's my message to you. All right. I see tiny spheres everywhere. Everything. John Benjamin, you're on your way. Come on, man. You seeing the tiny spheres? It's very important to see those because that's how you go into the parallel world, the astral world, the world of the dead. You understand? Amtuwa, the Emerald Tablet. These places is real because in reality, once you take on a bodiless form, you're right here still. You're standing right where you at. You just bodiless, but you're at a different vibratory frequency. Remember, your pancreas is vibrating at one frequency, your liver at another frequency. You got multiple frequencies vibrating in you, plus your whole body. You understand? So once you leave all these vibratory frequencies, you assume everything that everybody else is vibrating at. So you learn energy can't die. So you're just gonna pop up in front of everybody and see everything, bodiless forms. And only thing that's gonna stop you from seeing this is what's called psyche or the demons. Psyche, psychology, kundalini, chakras, these now take the mind someplace else, and being yourself to body, it goes with it. So you have to be careful with the psyche part in this outer body thing, because now you're seeing these orbs and lights. You could travel through them if you're trained by a master, and once you go in there now, you could believe what you want. And that's the hard part, because who told us anything? Well, God came and said, yo, I'm God, and this is it, and this is it. So you on a journey that if you don't have a master that's seen these places already, not saying he know everything, because he's probably up here and you just back here, but he could tell you what's everything between here because he's seen it already. You have to be careful of those, because a lot of us heads start getting swollen when we get into that. So that's all I would tell you. Yes, Chris Star, blessing. I just cried like a baby when I found out my brother was cheating, when I realized it felt much better. Yes, yes, Sometimes, let me tell you, yesterday I cried too, man. When I see us going through all this poverty and going through all this hardship, I was feeling messed up. So I reached out to the stars to talk to them and ask them what's going on. And he was like, yo, you fucked up too. What are you talking about? And that's the point to everything. It's something universal for us to all wake up. But sometimes, we think like we're rich. I don't see myself in no bad situation. And I don't see nobody else in no bad situation, regardless of where we at. It's us not realizing who we are. That's why. Once we realize who we are, there's nothing we can't do. That's why it's the power of turning our pain into pleasure. Because once you get angry, you ever get so angry you say, motherfucker, I'm gonna do something about this. And that's what the same thing is. Step it up and then use that straight anger and build something great, a great empire. And that's all it is to me. I love a challenge. Put me in the desert and I'm gonna sell sand to somebody. I'm gonna do this to something, and that's the mentality you gotta have. You gotta have a business mind. That's why you're a corporate entity, a straw man. So you're doing a DBA when you're here. You're doing business as. That's what your spirit body is. It's doing business as. You can't live in this world if you was alone. You couldn't, other people is here, so you do business with them in some type of bartering, working, helping each other things. So we got to be able to manipulate it and win. Thank you so much, brother. The breathing helped a lot. I've never thought about it like that before. Thanks so much. Yes, 33rd. Anytime you want to chat, you can hit me up. You can email me at University of Conscious Science at gmail.com. We could talk, privately or whatever. But that's what this is about. It's about helping each other with stress. I'm the master of the stress reliever through Kundalini, through yoga, or just through experience. I'm here. Peace. Yes, Stardust. It's good to see you. Titanium Anu. Bro, can you speak about this Christ stuff, please? Oh, Christ. I love Christ. You want about? I'll give you a quick dose of Christ. Please. Thank you for asking, Titan. How time somebody care about that? I'll say this. All right. You know why I don't speak on Christ is because I don't think people will honor a person in today's modern time and see it the way that with true originality, genuinity, using Christ. Because I see people now tend to just skip by it once you start talking Christ, religion, and all this stuff. So I tend to stray away from that just to keep my audience, to keep my subscribers, to push the truth. But behind my truth, first of all, let me tell you this is what makes this interesting is the story of Christ. And I'm not a Christ person. I tell you not. I know it's not religious. Nothing with religion till maybe 3 years ago. And this is why. Um, Prior to 3 years, maybe 4 years ago, I was doing the astral flying around with, like he's saying, the orbs and the lights, going through them. I'm in beautiful worlds, different worlds, calling my mother up on what's up, yo, ma, I'm going to this planet, I'm going to this world. I'm telling her I'm Ra, son of Ra, and all this stuff because yeah, let me tell you, I had it that I could literally from activating from I told you the sun came on, like if I'm laying in my bed and I just zone out, like I'm not thinking about enough aspect, clear yourself, everything start waving. I see like bar lines start just coming, and then I would see people walking by, and I'm like this. So I'm like, and one day I'm watching a man walk up, so I go, I see you, and this man looked back at me, and let me tell you, that night when it was dark, I watched this man come down on my roof by my balcony, and it just stood there. This sounds weird. That's why I said spiritual stuff is kind of weird. I hope I don't throw y'all off or make y'all crazy, but this is who I am and what made me who I am. And so when it came down, it actually started teaching me for about the next 5 months. I mean, my lessons were so hard, it used to sit on the edge of my bed, and I'm sitting in my bed Indian style, staring, can't blink for maybe 9 o'clock at night till about 7 in the morning, till tears, my whole sheet is wet with tears. He just made me stare. And all it was like a world was coming up and just coming up into my face, coming up into my face. I couldn't blink. Sometimes my mucus is running, my saliva. He'll make me just do that for long periods of time till eventually it was just an orb light would just come in my eyes when I started looking at my hands. And after he did that, he left. He disappeared. And it's like inside of me now, all I cared about was Anunnaki shit. I was in Babylon looking at Babylon images, a lot of Babylon images. Just on every time I turn on my YouTube, it will automatically take me to Mesopotamia or Babylon, and everything in there looked just like the places I was visiting. And these places I was visiting was like a Egyptianist type place where the walls and catacombs was long hallways full of hieroglyphs that is detailed writing. And so I'm studying, I guess, being in him or his life, his story. And so every one that came, another one came after, which showed me how to like open up my pineal, because now I'm laying in the bed and now I could see the orb, but it's on the ceiling. And then I don't know, this one being came and he made to follow it on the ceiling, but now I'm following it from a 45-degree angle till it was up above my head, and my eyes is hurting from trying to look straight up, and somehow just tightened up. And when I felt it tightened up like a muscle, that thing started falling off the ceiling and floating down, floating down, floating down right in front of me as I held it together through this or whatever. It was like a little filament of light orb. And from there, it just started opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up. Lord have mercy. My whole life changed from there. From there, I could tell, my uncle would come in and tell you I used to run up here scared to death, saying something is attacking me, something is taking me away, because it had a magnetic pull too. So when it's doing it, it's like it's pulling on your body. Woo, woo. You're going like this, woo, 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 woo. So I used to come up here and say something is stealing my soul, something is taking my soul. So he used to be like, well, what happened? You got your soul, or did it do it? Did it abduct you? Did it cut you? What are you talking about? Go see what happened. And I did. Let me tell you, the first time I allowed the screen to just overwhelm me and take me, it just flew me around through like castles, beautiful, colorful. You see my video that I did for fire, how clear and crisp it is? It's because the worlds that I see and where I come from, that's how clear it is. Don't make this like how this look black and white. It's very vivid and clear. And that's why all my videos are so bright and clear when I do it for other people, such as the fire video for that Job Mercy on Me video. So now when I'm traveling through there, it just was like I was flying in a roller coaster, like a real Walt Disney ride. And that just made me drop to my knees, and I just started crying. I never felt nothing like that. And I said, no, I'm the evil one, because I'm thinking these things is gonna fuck me up or something bad is gonna happen. But what it showed me was so divine that I said it didn't have to show me this. Why is it showing me this? And that's when I know something ain't right here. So then I stopped saying I'm the son of Ra, because I said, nah, something ain't right here. But inside of me, I still don't believe in Jesus, don't believe in God, didn't believe in none of this. I'm believing in Ra and Thoth and all this. So now they start now spraying as it's standing in front of my eyes. It go back and forth, and it starts spraying like a different color light, a blue light that will sting my eye. And when it sting, a tear will come out. And when a tear come out, you will see, just like you see like Jason and the dragon when he's riding on the dragon, like a dragonless thing is in the cloud. You could see it like a predator overlay body, and don't really, you could call them floaters in your eyes. You'll have them floaters now take the shapes of these dragons, and once they get in the tears, they come across and they drop down here and started lighting up down here so I can make symbols down here. So once they started doing that with the orb, and tears start running, all of a sudden it felt like it was taking a knife and making a slish, like a reptilian slish. I could literally feel pieces of meat flipping open. I couldn't take it. It must have took a month at like 3 seconds of time going like this before I curl up and I'm ready to cry, until the last day I took it, nose running. It was so painful, full of sweat, and it ripped all the way down and it made a slit. And now, even though you can't see it, it's there and it's real because I cried, I felt it, and I posted these things. So with that, it's different things you have to go through. After that, they make you lean forward, where they send blue light, green light over your eyes, and it make your eyes mad cloudy. And then when you make saliva come out your mouth, it makes it clear. The saliva is like an agent that just take the lenses and make it clear. So they give you mad different color lenses. I went through mad lenses for a while first, and then later on, this is where it started getting weird. These worlds that I was traveling on, a year later, my consciousness fell in it. So I went from just watching like a video game, and I'm watching everything fly on like a video game in front of me, to literally I was participating in it when I'm in there. Now I'm floating. So I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, this is, I didn't sign up for this. It's like you really in it now, flying. You feel yourself going to the right, you feel yourself going to your left. You get this thing called kinesthesia, in your feet, and your feet start bopping up and down with the turns. Your body, in your body, start turning to the right, turning to the left. It's actually a thing called kinesthesia. Look it up. And this is what happened to my body, and I felt so real, like I'm floating. And as the screen is there, you're in a whole nother world. Well, when this started, this was my invitation to what's called the underworld, or to my initiation. My initiation now was to go get somebody. And where I had to go, it was two paths, to go up and one to go down. I always avoided that one to go down. I went down a little bit in there because it's always to the right. And I was scared to death. It make your heart feel like something is gonna rip your heart out. So I never went that way. I'd fight to go always this way. I fight with myself every time. But this one time they made me go down there. And when I went down there, it felt like a heart was pulling away. And it's totally dark in there. It's the only place where there's nothing else but darkness. But you can hear people talking to you. They start telling me, you could have everything you want. You could have the world. You could have this. You could have that. So I'm like, no, no, no. Keep going down deeper, 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 deeper. Kept going down deeper, deeper for maybe 20 minutes before I entered this little room, this little, like a tomb. And in this tomb was this old, decrepit man laid down there, decrepit, just with like pampers on. And I picked him up and I carried him up. I carried him up. I carried him up. When I'm picking him up and carrying him, I realized when I looked down, we're floating on like it looked like a carpet, but no, it was dead people carrying us. I'm looking and seeing dead people carrying us, and his hands stretching up to us for us, and it was like touching them. And when I touched their hands and I said, I forgive you, I forgive you, one of them came up onto the cart. It's like they was coming up on the cart as you touched them and said, I forgave you, they came up. This man who I went and got was Jesus. I seen his face, and that's not the first time. This is my initiation. My initiation was to go get him and bring him back up. When I brought him up, he and Set, it's a whole thing went on with them. They're one. They're one. Then from there, I was taken to by Sakmet to a garden where I met God. And you have to go through a whole ritual there. And from there, now I was taken down from there back to Jesus, where he took me through. It would look like Arabia or a desert or something, and you do hand signs. That's where I learned the medieval pictures is all flying signs in the astral world. Every hand sign turn you in a different direction, tilt you and twist you, make you do different things. This is all Jesus lessons. I met this man and he comes to me with his arms stretched like the Vitruvian man, and we unite, and that's what we do. I seen his death. I seen him in the tomb. I seen a whole bunch of things as a seer that profound me to even, I wouldn't even question it. I wouldn't even question it. Put it like that. I'm a black man who didn't believe all of that prior to 4 years ago, but if I didn't see it myself, I wouldn't tell you none of this. You understand? But I don't tell nobody this, but that's how I got my initiation. That's who is behind everything I do. And I will put my life on it for that. So, he comes and visit every now and then, but he involved with a lot of different people like Leviathan, Hatman, Pan. All those characters you hear Bobby Hemmett talk about is from Jesus, the abyss. It's a whole different science that nobody's really reading the Bible for real. You don't understand what's going on in there, even though you're reading it, because we're still reading it for egotistical reason. If you would read the book, the man don't talk to women. There's no time he talked to women. It tell you that when he went to the Samaritan well, they were surprised to see he talked to a woman. We understand because he does not talk to women. He does not actually was this nice guy. He was a rebel. He only came out at nighttime. Look in the real Bible. It says that even when they walked on water was at night. He never was appearing in the daytime. He was a dark person from the abyss. You got to understand, it's a different story, but read the book and its detail. Who he got rid of? Demons. He tell them to get out. We have that ability because the people from the abyss are those type of things, the demions, which I told you before is the kids of angels. So if the angels made the demions, then guess who the demions made? Human beings. So for you to go back up, first place is them. Second place is angels. Next you're going to come beasts and seraphim. That's why Aleister Crowley called himself the beast, one of the highest beings next to the man on the throne. Remember, who's after the man on the throne? The beast is next to him. When they send the four horsemen, it's to protect the beast. It wasn't for protecting humans. They said protect the earth. You understand what I'm saying? But protect the beast. So these things is of God. It's of the higher world. It's of Jesus. You understand? So you gotta read that book right. I'm gonna have to come interpret. Y'all just bring it to me, and I will bring it out here and read it word for word. And I bet you y'all gonna be like, "And I never knew it said that. I never knew this was what happened." You understand? So I don't want to discourage nobody, but I do want to tell the truth because that's what he came here to do, to say speak the truth. And that we're not speaking the truth, we're speaking moralistic truth, but we're not saying it where the truth hurts. And that's change, that's alchemy. That's what he was here to do. That's why they stoned him, they chased him away, they beat him because he told the truth. And if you're not ready to hear the truth, you might as well stay away from me because I will hurt your feelings. That's one thing. I don't sugarcoat anything. I figure no matter how hard I try to make her happy, it never works. And I will never will because what happiness, I did videos on it before to let you know happiness is a drug. It's not a real state of being. It's a temporary state of, and when you reach it, it's like this finger would be you achieving happiness. Once you get to here, you're not happy no more. It goes up another level and you're going to seek other things. So first, you wanted to be happy by leaving your mother's house, and boom, you achieve that. Boom. You're not happy no more, so you need a girlfriend and you want a job and you want money. You get all those things. Boom, you're not happy no more. Now you want to get a house and a car and you think that make you happy. You get all that. Boom, you're not happy no more. Now you want to get to knowledge and wisdom and all that stuff. So you get all that. Boom, you're not happy no more. So you get to see happy is just a drug. It's not real. It's an illusion because the fact is you don't have mental control. If you have mental control, you wouldn't seek happiness. You seek peace. Peace is nirvana. When you seek peace, you don't disturb nobody else's happiness. Happiness is a principle that two people ain't going to agree on. Your happiness is going to cause somebody else's pain. So we got to realize karma is everything. And then you won't realize that your job is not to make somebody happy. That'll make you a prostitute, a whore. That's what a whore get paid to do and a prostitute get paid to do. I give it to you in them layman terms because that's out of the book of Hosea. And God said that he gave us everything. And once he didn't have it no more, like the desert came in the land, we ran to a man and started fucking the man for a house, started fucking a woman for clothes, started fucking this person for the same shit that he used to give us, and we used to just love him, called the husband man. You understand? We left all that for each other, for insecurities and all that. So that's why Jesus came. You never see him. He stand as a God. And that's what we are. He said, ye are gods. And that's what he came to teach the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Okay, 33rd band sounds like she's full of resentment and letting go of something you did. Best advice I ever got. I have a new look at things. Thank you, Lord Enki. You're welcome. Greeting, Rising Lily. Lord Enki is the one. Stardust, you know it. Thank you, my love. I'm going to get that shirt and put your name on the back. That on the front and that on the back. John Benjamin, what's good? I love you too, my brother. Sybil Oracle, more like something she did. Yeah, listen, you're not responsible for her happiness or what her angerness. For you to grow, you must allow her to grow. If she don't know what she wants, it will show. If somebody show you hate and anger, that's what they feel. It's not a temporary state. You could be angry at me today and you curse me out. And then tomorrow you wake up and say, I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept your apologies. I will never accept nobody's apology because the person who's saying sorry wasn't the person who did that time. That's a different person. So that person talking to me wasn't the person who did it. So why would I take that person apology? It wasn't him that did it. It was that person who did it. And that person, then you're going to see them again until the next time. So you got to realize that. When they're angry and they ready to curse you, let them apologize then, because that's the one who did it. But when they all calm and cool and try to apologize to you, that's not the person. Don't take that apology. Lord and kill teach you the way. Love it. Rabbit hole gets deep. Yes, Krista. The entire bed shakes. Yes. Oh man, 100% true. I felt alone until these vids started coming out. That's right, 33rd band. We from the children of God, and we have a different way. And we're gonna only, you see, 33rd, you're an empath, And empaths, we are like shapeshifters, meaning we shapeshift to the other person. We conform to their ways. We conform to make them happy. You conform so you won't tell them the truth because you already know they can't take it and it's going to hurt them. It's going to make them cry. So you go through life killing yourself. You understand? Because you know more, because you won't, and you won't say it. You won't do it because you don't want to disturb the waves. But that's a sin as far as Jesus Christ is concerned, because like he said, he's the truth and he's the light. It doesn't say moralistic truth. The truth is the truth. That's why you hear some of my raps. It be some of the most savagest saying things, but it's true. I only rap true things. I only say true things. And that's how we're supposed to live. That's how we help each other, make each other evolve. Not agreeing with each other, not agreeing with what society say. What's what you feel inside of you is true. You understand? It's very important for you to understand that. Now, let me see. Do you know who Jack Parsons is? He's my grandfather. I heard of him. Yes, I definitely heard of him. Damn, I'm here to watch this XD. You know what it is. I recently was walking 3 weeks ago and found an Ankh. Have I been given the keys to life? T Easy Brew Talk. Yes, brother, you gotta understand that's a very serious key right there. And I'm glad you're conscious of that, the fact you find it. I will say this, the Ankh is the third level in the astral world, the third level. And for you to get there, the Egyptians don't just have it as a symbol and you see them holding it as a symbol, like they're walking around, like how this chain is on my neck, just as a symbol. No, you need that to get past the third sphere in the astral world, the third sphere of your chakra, the third sphere of yourself. You got to have an Ankh because the gatekeeper there, Shango. Shango don't play no games. You can't get through without holding up your Ankh. That's why you see them holding up the Ankh. That's to Shango to pass the third sphere in their self. You understand? So it's a whole system you have to learn as this what we call Black African spirituality, the original way, which is still in you, which is coming back. You have to learn it's a science. Don't think anybody say it is. It's like only person who could teach you that is not here is Aleister Crowley. He made it a few levels up, but he's not of it. But he understood when he did them symbols, them signs. When them Illuminati play with you, you need those for gatekeepers, gang members, and the leaders of them. They went into the spiritual world and was taught these things and was given these gifts to have people under their control because of this. You understand? This is deeper than we think. You understand? So it's very important for you to really, the Ankh and a few other symbols, but the Ankh is for the third level for Shango. To get by Shango, you got to show an Ankh as he sends you back. You ain't going nowhere in life unless you holding up that Ankh for Shango. Shango will be equivalent to the Masonic. If you ever look with the black hand coming out the cloud, pulling people up. Shango is the last level for the astral world before it transforms over into the spirit world. He'll take you out of the Tuwa, the underworld. Shango pulls you up. But you gotta have an You can't, it ain't gonna happen. All right, civil, yes. Stardust. And it's written that blasphemy is when you reject the Holy Spirit, wisdom of a feminine principle. That's a fact, Stardust. Yeah. We're in the mother. Believe it or not, right, I'm doing is going against the Father, speaking this knowledge right here that I'm giving y'all. But the mother is the one that's making me and compelling me to do it for y'all to help everybody. But the Father or the stars and gods up above, they want you to wake yourself up. But the mother feeling sorry and sorrow, we're in the mother. Mother Earth, you hear the saying. Well, everything that is physical is feminine in principle. The mother is everything. The form is of the mother. The form is of the physical principle, which is set, which we get from the libido energy, and it has a profound influence on our physical body. That's why we interact with each other sexually or whatever the case may be. So these is actually from the mother that is doing it. The mother's, if you don't know her, she's in Proverbs. For anybody that's there, read Proverbs from the beginning. He don't have just him. He has a mother and a father. He speak upon it to the son. Say, listen, my son, I am the mother, and speak on the mother a few times. So once you realize you're in the mother, mother's wisdom, separated in our most ancient of doctrines, it would be Abatala is the male is God, and the female will be Odudua. Odudua. Odudua becomes Set later on because it's matter, it's the physical matter. But remember, it's a ghost or evaporation matter. It's not something that has a set form. Nothing is set form. It just comes and goes. So she give you a temporary state to learn and then evolve, and then it disappears. So we can't get attached to it. But she is the rule of this dimension. Kali, that's what she's called. She's also called and Sakmet, Shakti, that's all her. It's the same one. Mary, Eve, it's the same one. You know, she's also in the opposite thing at night. She's Neith, Night, Ishtar, Isis, Diana, her Hathor. That's all the same person. You know what I'm saying? The mother. So she has many. What we said, like the 72 name of God, she has many emanations, with each emanation being a different personality of the same one. You understand? All right. Thanks for answering my question about Jesus, but what do you think about the Book of Thomas? It's a beautiful book. If you can understand the Book of Thomas, you've been in that world, you've been visiting it. It's the only way you'll be able to understand it. If you want, you can remind me, Titan Amun, I'll break them, every one of them down. I know them all. I'm glad to see, like I said, you're interested in this stuff because I'm the novice and the master of that. And I would love to break each one down to you because, like I said, he's different and we don't understand them. But by you letting me interpret it to you, then you'll be like, wow, that's what he meant. And it's for us star beings. It's for us. It's not wasn't meant yet. His time didn't come yet. You understand? Believe it or not, his time is coming. It didn't come. All right, spirit, joy, need, peace, supersedes intelligence. That's right. Joy and peace, definitely. Intelligence is actually, it could become a blocker. We're not here for intelligence. There is no such thing as intelligence. Intelligence is just gathering information. Remember that. What you're talking about is intelligence. You're talking wisdom. There is no such thing as intelligence. And if you seek an intelligence, it's just going to be the same thing as trying to seek a job or doing something to please your ego. It's not going to work. Everything that we're doing when we're seeking wisdom is remembering. All I could do is make you remember who you are. Remember, instinctively, you ponder on these videos, you ponder on these thoughts, you're going to get closer to yourself, to the other truth of yourself than you are now. You got to understand that. That's why you're doing this. You're doing this to get closer to yourself. You're not doing it to recite what I'm saying, to regurgitate what I'm saying. That's not the point to it. Your point is to you to remember who you are, your star being, because it's many traps out here, it's many tricks, there's many ways to deceive us. But we have to learn different ways. The only way you could do that is by being in the moment, being there, and knowing who you are in reference to them. Then anything you will see before it comes. So that would be more easier for you to recognize because you will be writing your own book. All of us is the book from different perspective as long as we got the one God eye, the one Jesus eye. We seeing it the same. We all share the same mind. We all connect. You understand? As you can see the vibratory frequencies, these is what we connect through. Our pineal. These energies is real. They're vibratory frequencies, chakras that's spinning. So we all have these frequencies and we're able to move and maneuver to them. You know, um, Christ said, because I tell you the truth, I now become your enemy. Real talk. So can we cast demons away in his name? Of course. Titan, that is the fact. I'm going to tell you, though, the truth. It only worked like once. I was doing like exorcism for a while. I was learning how to be a high priest. And I found out by accident because I learned from me, doing it to myself first. But the real lesson came when I did my first exorcism. I was explaining to somebody what I had did to myself to try it. And this person started throwing up, vomiting, farting on this. And I'm like, get the fuck. I didn't think these things was possible. But yes, exorcism is 100% real. I had another one that they head turn around. And I did the basic Psalms 23. Just do the Psalms 23, but you have to feel it till you get goosebumps on you, till you shake that shit up because it sits on you and it's not afraid. It know if you mean it or not. So I would say for you to get the feeling, not reading it is going to do it. Reciting it and saying it with feeling will get them up off of you. But if you're just going to recite it, sometimes you go to recite it, they're going to have you stumbling. You got to say it right. If you don't say it how it's written, and word for word, back to back, and you're stumbling, you're stuttering, it has no effect on them, and that's their job to make you stutter, stop, think, can't do it. You know, it's gonna do everything in its power to do it. If you want to learn that method of exorcism that I use, please remind me to post a video of this process of exorcism because it does involve a candle. This is personal exorcism you do for yourself to heal yourself. So I could teach you that. That's why I never apologize. No, never apologize. Never do because it's not you that did it and it's not that person that is you talking to that is giving you the apology. And God knows that and you should know that too. All right. And goodness, that's the truth. Are we disagreeables or agreeables? Stardust, we agreeables. Unfortunately, we're the agreeables. You know, God bless. Wow. Shenring. Shenring. I'm not too familiar with that one. Peace and blessing, Dominique Mugwana. Um, Onyx. I keep seeing 72 lately. Phone battery been at 72 for an hour. XD. Let them demons out. You got the 72 demons inside of you, Yaisha. You gotta let them out. You suppressing yourself. You got more to you, but you're holding back. You don't know who you are, and you ain't gonna know till you stop trying to know. Just be, and you will see you will be more to you than you're letting yourself pick a side of yourself. All right, thanks for the feedback. Yes, T Easy, um, your pupils are illuminating. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's funny. You're gonna see these funny lights and the work that I've been doing. This is called energy work, and I want y'all to learn this energy work because it's really hard. It takes up a quarter of my day, and I think that's what God and Jesus wanted us to do. This energy work give us powers to see. It gives us the power to have magnetic healing. I'll teach you what magnetic healing is and how the apostles actually heal through magnetic healing. It's an art, and there's people who's initiated into it, but you have to be pure, purify through isolation. You can't have perverted thoughts. You really have to be pure because you're passing as a passer. You know, you could, I don't want to tell you everything, but there's a passer you pass on to people, healing energies. And that's what we're supposed to be here doing. And God works through it, and Jesus worked through these healing energy. We just pass it off, and they'll do the rest. That's what they need us here, and that's what we're here for. But we need to come through a master that is already initiated by them. And you will know by the signs and symbols. I wouldn't have to tell you. They'll show up. All right? Psalms 23 is on. Yes, light a candle, form a triangle over the candle. You'll know if you've got a possession on you by if it burns. The candle, you put it close, you feel heat. If you don't feel no heat, more than likely you calcify because they calcify on you, and black is a magnetic field. So once you break the heat, you will see the candle break and you will see them forming the candle as a spirit or whatever. Yes, Stardust, you're welcome. Big smile. What's going on, Mosey? Nice to see you. Gotta head out now. See you soon. Yes, me too, Yoshi. I'm about to. And thank y'all. See y'all again. Yes, third base, University of Conscious Science. Thank you for tuning in. One love.